So welcome to chair yoga. Go ahead and have a comfortable seat. And for these first few moments, sit all the way back with your back supported in the chair so you feel like you can rest. If you'd like, you can put your feet up on a block or a firm pillow. That takes a little stress out of the low back. Take a moment to just get settled here with your hands on your legs, your shoulders relaxed. Check in with any part of your body in these first few moments that feels tender or sore. Maybe you have an injury or some kind of ailment that's just speaking up right away. Just give your attention to the part of your body that needs it. And let's all agree to only do what feels good to our bodies. If anything hurts or feels like sharp pain, let's agree to back off. We're here to heal, not to hurt. So you can close your eyes or just shift your eyes down and start to take some deep breaths in through your nose and out. I'd like to offer us for this practice a very simple mantra from the philosopher Dori in Finding Nemo. Just keep swimming. So as we go through this practice, just keep breathing. Just keep listening to your body and moving in a way that feels healing and helpful. Start to slide a deeper breath into your lungs, maybe feeling the breath in the bottom of your lungs, the back of your lungs, the shoulder blades. We'll start with some gentle movement for the neck, and let's make this small at first. So just dropping left ear to left shoulder and gently lowering that chin to the chest and rolling right ear to right shoulder. And let's go back to the front again, half circles. Just an assessment. Feeling what we feel here. And then bringing our head back to neutral, reach your arms straight out in front of you and turn your palms up. Take a deep breath in. On the exhale, squeeze your hands into a soft fist and pull your elbows to your sides. Let's just do that easy movement. Inhale, reaching forward. Exhale, pulling back. You can imagine that you're pulling a band or a rope toward you. So as you come back, just squeezing the shoulder blades, working on posture and mobility. And then bringing your hands in close to you, just open and close your hands a little more briskly. If you struggle with arthritis in your fingers, anywhere in your body really, we use the term here, motion is lotion. And at first, when you have arthritis, it feels uncomfortable to move, but movement is the antidote, getting those joints lubricated. So just opening and closing in whatever intensity you can. Open up your hands, and then we're just going to take one hand on the opposite fingers and gently stretch the wrist. So the fingers are dropping down, the back of the wrist is up, and just breathe as you feel that stretch come across your forearm. And releasing that, turn the palm the other way. So now your palm is facing you as you gently pull back on the back of your hand, now stretching the back of your wrist. This is really, really good if you've been doing a lot of keyboarding, typing on a keyboard, and your hands have been in that flexed position. And then we'll just switch sides. Opposite arm, palm forward, fingers down. Deep breaths as you pull that stretch into the forearm. And then release that, turn the palm towards you, gently press the back of the hand. Just taking good care of these hands that serve us well. Let's shake out the hands a little bit and we'll do wrist circles. Nice big wrist circles, like you're stirring up a can of paint, go in both directions. And then shake. Shake your fingers down to your sides or out in front of you. You can get some circulation into those fingertips. As we age, our circulation slows down too. So you might notice that your hands and feet get more cold. So just shaking the hands is a great way to just bring circulation down into those fingertips. And we're going to shake 3 times like our hands have water on them. 1, 2, 3, and then just pause with your hands on your laps and feel your fingertips. We refer to that in yoga as prana. That's energy. That's your life force coursing through your veins. You can feel that in your fingertips. If you're still sitting with your back against your chair, scoot forward just a couple of inches so you can feel a straighter spine. Bring your fingertips to your shoulders. And we're going to make circles with our elbows on the side walls. Starting to play with shoulder mobility. Motion is lotion. And if this feels good to you, make the circles bigger. Go in both directions, forward and back. We lose mobility as we age, mainly because we stop using our mobility. We stop exploring the end ranges and we get limited. Keep the elbows to the side and take the elbows down and up. I'm pretty sure there used to be an old dance called the Funky Chicken that had this movement in it. And then as we lift, bring the elbows toward each other, squeezing the chest and back, squeezing the upper back. Again, avoiding any sharp edges, just mobility here, movement. See if these moves put a little smile on your face, a little sense of joy or ease. Take the arms down to the sides. If your feet are on a block, step off and scoot forward even more for seated cat and cow. So bring the hands to the kneecaps. And on the inhale, pull your chest forward. We'll turn so you can see. So there's a little arch in your back, lifting your chest. And on your exhale round, tuck your chin to your chest. Move with your breath. Inhale, lifting up. And exhale, lower down. Notice how this feels different than doing this on hands and knees. A little less stress on the wrist, less stress on the kneecaps. If you have osteoporosis, you're going to be a little bit more gentle in this backward rounding posture. Maybe make that smaller. And let's find our way back to neutral. From here, lateral flexion or sideways movement of the spine. Take your right fingers to your right shoulder. And the left hand can just dangle here at the side. You're going to start reaching those left fingers to the floor. And you're also welcome to hold on to your chair if that gives you a little more sense of stability, or even place a hand on the hip. Just take a nice little side bend here into the right side of your body. If that feels okay, if you're getting a green light, you can extend that arm up, go a little farther, put the fingers toward the ceiling, kind of like you're pulling yourself up. And let your breath move here into the side of your body. And come back to center, switching sides. Left fingers to left shoulder. Take an easy bend to the side. You can explore where you'd like that right hand, an option to lift the arm up. What are you noticing here as you just keep breathing? Just keep feeling, just keep exploring. On the inhale, sit tall, and then this arm will gently cross the body and come toward your right knee. Let the your right arm reach behind you and find some place on the chair that you can hold on to. Might be the seat or the chair back. We're easing into a twist. On our inhale, sit as tall as you can. On the exhale, rotate. The last thing to move is your neck looking backwards. What do you notice here in this gentle seated twist? Slowly unwind. Extend your right arm to your left knee. And twisting from the middle of your body, let that left hand settle somewhere onto the chair. Inhale to sit tall and exhale to look over your back shoulder. You can use the arms for a little bit of leverage, but try not to force yourself into an uncomfortable twist. This one should just feel really good, like you're wringing out a wet cloth softly. The easier way back to center. I'm going to take the feet even wider now. So your hips are stable, but they're closer to the front edge of your chair. Let's move through another cat and cow. Inhale, arching your back, and exhale, round. With your feet wider, you might have a little more range of motion. You might feel yourself rocking onto the front of your sitting bones and rolling to the back of your sitting bones. Again, being careful to not round your back too much if you do have osteoporosis. And from a tall spine, let's heel toe the feet back together. I'm going to make our way down to knees and ankles. So again, if you do have a block, you might want that in front of you, under your feet. So we're going to take one leg with our hands and just lift that leg up and just straighten and bend the knee. This can be a little bit or a lot. So just exploring the range of motion of your knee joint. The knee is a hinge. Its job is to bend and straighten, that's all. Just notice it moving in its nice little tracks. And then let the knee relax and just circle your ankle. Notice that it's taking a little bit of upper body and core strength to hold yourself up here, pull tall into your spine. Go both ways, both circles, or both directions. And if my AirPods pick it up, you're hearing a lot of snap, crackle, pop over here. Those are ankles that have served you well. Bring your foot back and switch sides. Take the opposite knee, lift up, and just bend and straighten. This can be small or big. can be like the chorus line, high kicks, or maybe it's just a little gentle movement. Maybe a moment of gratitude for these knees that allow you to dance and skip and walk and ride and kneel. And bend the knee, find some circles, ankle circles, both directions. Snap, crackle, pop. I do encourage you to do yoga barefoot if you can. If you can take your shoes off, it's so healthy and helpful for your feet to be barefoot once in a while. Not necessary, but I think really helpful. And then release. With your feet on the block, and maybe you can get your heels up on the block, I'd like you to pull the toes of one foot up and point the toes of the other foot down. So it's like you are pushing, if you had your feet on like a brake and a gas pedal alternating, pointing and flexing. So toes down, toes up, alternating. A little bit of coordination here. And then both together, point the toes down off the edge of the block, pull the toes up. Getting all that blood flow and circulation down into our feet. As you pull your toes up, see if you can fan all the toes out, like fingers spreading wide. Just let the little webbing between your toes stretch. That's probably uncomfortable if your feet have been crammed inside of shoes. And then relax your toes. Curl your toes down like you're trying to make a fist with your feet. And then fan your toes wide again. And make a fist with your feet. Kind of uncomfortable. My feet don't get much attention. Spread them wide and make a fist one more time. And then come off of your block and just march your feet in place. Just kind of tap them on the floor, shake them out. All right, we're going to come up to standing. So let's have the back of the chair closest to us. So bring your chair toward the end of your mat. And we're going to do something called half salutations, and the chair is here for us. So you might want to just mark out that you're able to come into this. This is our version of downward facing dog here. So standing in close to the chair. If you're okay to let go of the chair, take your arms up. If not, you can keep your one hand on the chair for balance. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, bring your hands in front of your heart. Hands to the chair. Step back a little bit and lower your head down. Notice that my knees are bent, my elbows are bent. This is the version of forward fold. And then inhale to a half lift. So my body's going to be in a little bit of a slant there. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, step your feet a little closer, rise up high, extended mountain, and bring your hands to your heart. So let's move with breath. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, step back just a bit. Allow yourself a forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, step in, reach your arms high. And exhale, hands to heart. And let's do that one more time. If you're comfortable, you could step back a little farther. Inhale up high. Exhale, hands to the back of the chair. This could feel a little bit more like a downward facing dog. Inhale, come to a kind of a plank pose or a half lift. Exhale, shift your hips back, bend your knees. And then walk forward, reach your arms high, extended mountain, and hands to heart. Use your chair for balance. Step your feet a little bit wider. And we're going to do some calf raises. So lifting onto the toes and lowering down. I like to actually rock back into my heels. So you're working your calves and your shins. Keeping the ankles strong, the feet strong, and the lower legs. And then for a little bit more sensation or challenge, you can turn your toes out. So my heels are about hip distance apart, but my toes are turned out, and then lifting and lowering onto the toes here. Toe heel, just working the calves and the shins a little differently. And then slowly walk your feet back. Let's come into this half downward facing dog. And we'll be here for a few breaths. So feel free to bend your knees, to pull your hips back away from your chair. Feeling a stretch in your chest and your shoulders, your back, and the backs of your legs. If you are comfortable here and you'd like something a little bit deeper, you could bring your hands to the chair seat and allow yourself just to come a little bit deeper. But listen to your body. Find a place where you feel length and space more than deep sensation. And soften the knees, walk closer to the chair. So turn your left toes to face the back of the chair, and we're going to take our right foot back, coming into a little bit of a shorter warrior stance. You can position your chair and your body where you can just rest a hand on the chair, coming into warrior two. This is a nice place to challenge your balance. If you want to pick that hand up, the chair is always here for you to come back to. Warrior two. So whether you're holding on or letting go, straighten and bend that front knee a few times. Remember, the knee is a hinge. It's just tracking forward and back. And then let's keep that leg straight. Start to shift your hips backwards, and we're just moving into triangle pose. So we can keep the hand here for balance. If you're comfortable, you can softly lower the hand to your shin. The chair's always there for you. For those of you that want to explore something a little deeper, bring your hand again to the chair seat and stretch those fingers forward. Lots of options. The goal is feeling good in your body, not feeling any pain. And let that arm come to the hip, rise up, soften the knee. Heel toe the back foot in, and we'll switch sides. So the left toes are forward, the right toes back and turned out. Warrior two. You can hold or let go. This is a great pose to work on foot strength, leg strength, core strength. Deep breath. Relax your shoulders. And then either holding or letting go, just straighten and bend your front knee. If this back arm is getting a little tired, that's okay. Those are muscles getting stronger. As long as there's no pain, keep that arm up and work on that endurance of your shoulder. The front leg straightens. We shift our hips sideways, coming into triangle pose. You can hold on or release the hand, or maybe explore the seat of the chair. Breathe a little deeper. Open a little more. Just keep breathing. Just keep feeling. Soften your front knee. Help yourself up, hand to hip, and we'll heel toe that back foot forward. We're going to come into a balancing pose here. So if you're nervous about balancing at all, stay facing your chair where you can keep both hands on the chair. If you want to just challenge yourself a bit, keep one hand on the chair. So let's stand on, and depending on where your chair is, choose a leg. It doesn't matter. I won't even cue a leg. So bring one of your knees up, the toes touching the floor like a little kickstand. Notice the tendency to pop that hip outward. And you can just bring your hand right to that hip and remind it to come in so that it's in a straight line. If that's working for you, try foot to the lower leg and see how that feels. We could bring the opposite arm overhead or hand to heart. Got all kinds of choices for our branches. Test the waters and see how your balance is feeling today. Chair is always here for you. As we age, balance becomes one of the most important things in our continuing to live a quality of life, trusting our legs underneath us. Every day, give yourself a little balance challenge. Maybe while you're brushing your teeth, just try to stand on one foot for a few seconds. If we don't use it, we lose it. And let's release our limbs and our foot. The leg that you were standing on, just give it a little shake. And then we'll switch sides. You can just stay right where you are, either facing the chair or sideways. And maybe you want to turn around so that it's the other hand that's supporting you. Start with your kickstand, bring the hand to the hip and just hug that right into a straight line. And the foot can be low or up to that calf. And then explore. Chair is there for you. All you have to do is keep breathing and explore. It's really helpful to keep your eyes on one point, a point that's not moving. That's called drishti. And it's like the string of a tent, just holding us in this stable position. Feel drishti helping you balance, building confidence. You might notice your body getting a little warmer when we ask it to stand on one limb. That's a good thing. When you're ready, release. And shake out the leg you were standing on. We're going to come back to a chair when you're ready. So maybe that block nearby for your feet. Now that we're warm, we get to do some nice hip exercises. I'm sure William will love these. Anyone that's had any hip issue loves these. So we're going to start with our rotators. I like to angle my body on a little bit of a corner on the chair and then put the block its long way so that you can rest a heel on top of the block. And then we're just going to roll that foot in and out like windshield wipers. If you have your hand up on your hip, you can feel this isn't a foot action. This is coming from your hip joint. So if you're a little bit more on a corner, the chair's not quite so much in your way. You can move that hip a little bit more freely. These hip rotations. Sit as tall as you can while you make this windshield wiper. And then let's pause right there with a neutral leg. Bring your hands to your thighs, and we're going to just trace our fingers down the leg. Go as far as you comfortably can and back up. We're bringing in a little bit of a hamstring stretch here. So forward and back. I think I say this every time I teach this class, but I have a cute little student named Betty who says this reminds her of taking off her silk stockings. She's a spicy little lady, that Betty. Do that one more time. Just kind of also giving yourself a little tender massage on the muscles of the leg. And as you come back up, just release the foot. Use your foot to help you glide that block to the other side so we can switch legs. Again, I kind of like to be on the corner of my chair. Sorry, this is a really noisy chair. So that I've got a little bit more movement, a little more range of movement here in these rotations. Motion is lotion. If you have had a hip replacement, your doctor has probably told you to limit the internal rotation. So if that describes you, you could do just the external and back to center, external and back to center, and that's really helping you strengthen those rotator muscles. Let's pause in neutral, fingertips on your thigh. Lift and lengthen through the crown of your head and just slide the fingers down and back up. Maybe test the waters with a smaller movement first, and you can make the movement bigger as you feel more comfortable. I never asked Betty, but it dawns on me that she said taking off silk stockings, but you could also be putting them on. See, I told you, she's a spicy little lady. And then let's find just a gentle hamstring stretch. Just reaching through the chest, reaching your fingers down, lengthen and breathe. And come back up. Relax your foot off of the block. So if you were facing a corner, face the center now, and we'll bring this block underneath one of our feet. I'm just going to do a little hip stretch here. And for some of us, this might be it. Sitting upright with one foot on the block could be a pretty good sensation. If you'd like to try something a little bit deeper, rest your elbows on your thighs. Just pause there to notice what's happening in the lower back and your hips. And then again, you could test the waters by reaching fingers toward the floor. One hand, try the other. This is getting to be a pretty deep forward fold. So again, osteoporosis, you probably want to stay here at the midpoint. If you're getting a green light, you could try folding all the way forward Noticing a little more sensation in the hip of the lifted leg. Deep breaths, long exhales, and use your hands on your thighs to bring you back to midpoint and upright. Just moving slowly. That is a big stretch for the low back. Use your foot to switch the block to the other side. Wide stance, one foot lifted. And again, notice this is actually a little bit of a hip stretch upright. If you want to test the waters, come to elbows, lengthen through a long spine and see what's there. And if you're still getting a green light, an invitation to reach one of your hands to the floor or the other, or maybe both. Listen to your body. Give your body the sensation it needs. Less is more. Just keep breathing. And gently use your hands to press back to center. All right, so this is the most challenging thing I'm going to ask you to do today. We're going to do a little bit of core work. So I'll turn sideways again so you can see. We're going to have that block in front of us and our toes come to the block. Wiggle your hips forward so that you can sit as tall as you can. And you can see that having your toes on the block, you already have to use quite a bit of your core strength. You can reach down and hold the seat of the chair or the chair back, but try to keep your spine straight as you march with one foot and then lift the other. Using the deep core muscles to support you. This is something you can do every day when you're just sitting at your office chair or watching TV. Just come to the edge of your chair and do 20 of these. Keep that core strong. And if you're feeling extra frisky and strong today, hold on to the chair and see about both feet lifting. That's really, really challenging. Might just be one leg up and holding. Told you, hardest thing we were going to do today. Go ahead and sit tall, push yourself up with your hands and step off of your block. If you have a yoga strap or a long rope or a belt, will you please grab that? And this is the last little sequence before we come into rest. So I'd like you to loop the strap around the bottom of one foot, and we're just going to lift and lower that leg. So a little bit easier than what we just did. And then lift and hold, pull your chest forward, lengthen your spine. A little bit of upper body strength. And then release that heel to the floor, lengthen through your crown, and gently pull yourself forward. So this could be enough right here. I'm resting one arm on my bent knee. I'm lifting through the chest toward my straight leg and just gently pulling my toes back with the strap. Really nice little hamstring stretch. Breathe as deeply as you can here. Release. Let that foot come to the floor and switch, step into the band with your other foot and use the strength of your upper body to lift and lower that leg. Motion is lotion. Bring that leg up and hold. Give it a little squeeze like you're hugging your knees into your chest. Tall spine, deep breath. And on your exhale, release your heel, straighten the leg, pull your chest forward. And this could be a perfect place to stay right here, just upright. Or you might want to walk forward with a flat back, resting elbow on knee, and gently pulling your toes back. If you feel stable here, close your eyes and check in. What's happening in your body? What are you noticing? What feels like it's stretching? Where do you feel strength, stability? Notice your breath. Slowly return to upright. We can set that strap down. With our hips forward, reach to the back of the chair, and let's take a final little back bend, chest stretch, heart opener. Maybe explore different places for your hands until you find just the right place where you can squeeze your shoulders onto your back, press your heart forward, and breathe. This is how we will enter the rest of our day with an open heart. Release your hands. We're getting ready for a seated Shavasana. So you can have the block again. You're welcome to now ease your back to the chair back behind you. Bring your feet up. Find a place to sit, a way to sit that feels supportive and comfortable. A couple of options for hands. Palms down is as a gesture of grounding, helping us feel stable and grounded. Palms up is a gesture of being open, receptive. And hands covering your heart in this tender way is a gesture of self-care. Maybe choose one of those three ways to rest your hands and then just close your eyes and breathe. You arrived here on this day in this chair at a specific age. And I'd like you to just reflect on that number for a moment. The miracle of that many years you've been breathing, living on this earth. That many years times 365, how many days? That number times 24, how many hours? And that number times 60, how many minutes? How many minutes have these lungs breathed air? How many minutes has this heart beat in your chest? How many minutes have these hands cooked, painted, held other hands? How many miles have these feet walked, run, or ridden? Take a moment to breathe into the miracle of all of those minutes, culminating right here in this precious, beautiful moment. Another miracle happening right now. As we sit in this chair, in this miracle of a moment, we might look forward to what would these hands like to create today? Where would these feet like to travel today? What would these eyes like to see? What would this brain like to learn in the 1440 minutes laid out in front of us? Maybe set an intention for one new thing you can experience in this 24-hour period ahead of you. What's one new thing? Just keep breathing. Just keep feeling. And try something new every day. Let's bring our hands together in front of our heart in a gesture of gratitude for all of it. Thank yourself for making time to move your body today. I hope you have a lovely day. Namaste.